Welcome back to another episode of the Cast Patrol podcast. You're joined as always by myself, Mick, Jimmy, and Age. Boys, fresh off Origin team selections. I'm sure you've all had a chance to glance over the rosters between Game 1 of State of Origin.
I have. Almost fell off my chair, but I have.
Really?
Yeah.
With Queensland or New South Wales?
Oh, a bit of both.
Wow. What about you, Age? Have you checked the team list?
I have. I'm pretty happy. Overall, it's a great team. There is one omission we'll touch on shortly. But, yeah, for those of you who don't know, Jimmy is a Queenslander, but born in New South Wales.
We bring it up almost every year, just to
every
remind
year,
you.
it's the same thing. Like, it's pretty much a sin in the NRL space. So, do you want to talk to everyone how you're a Queenslander?
Nah.
But we recently found out that you are actually, your dad was from Brisbane at one point.
He was. He did live up there. So, I don't know, potential could be conceived there. Who knows?
Wow, okay. A lot to like.
Just go with that one. You
It could be. We could go with that. And I also lived in Queensland as well.
Yes.
So.
Yeah, but that was after you became a Queenslander. So, yeah, we'll
After you were
forgive you.
supporting him for 8 years.
Well, well, Age, you're in blue, so let's start with the New South Wales Blues. We're not going to go through 1 to 17 because everyone's seen the team. Like, I don't need to read out that Dylan Edwards is the fullback and Cleary's the halfback. People know. So let's just talk about what you like about the team and what surprised you. Age, you can start us off.
What I like about it is the halves. I think it's one of the strongest halves pairing in a long time. We've had Cleary 7, Moses 6. Moses is going to take a little bit of backward step. Cleary run the show. Great kickers. Love the halves. Love the go forward out from the outside backs. You got Edwards, Toto, and Lomax. They're just going to take all the tough carries, like do their job, and loving the centers as well. Critter and Trell.
Yeah.
Fuck me. And then the pack's solid as well. There is one omission that I think everyone's saying the same thing. Where is Terrell May?
Yeah.
And the fact he's not starting, not on the bench, and not even in the squad. Like, no disrespect to Stefano Utikamanu, but he has not been in the greatest form.
Yeah.
And Terrell's third on the Dally M's. The only prop better than him probably is Payne Haas at the moment. So I think it's a shock to everyone, but massive credit to Max King. He's been working his ass off. And
well deserved.
He came on our potty.
Yeah.
We know how tough it has been for him the last few years, and
he's
just getting better and better. And I think everyone was shocked.
Yeah, he's been an enforcer in that pack. Yeah. I'll go through. I like Age. I'm very similar with you, but I really like the front row combination, Barnett-Haas. I feel like they complement each other in many ways, especially Haas. Like, this is... He's probably had another series, but this is probably his best lead into Origin. And everyone's expecting big things from him to sort of carry. I mean, every year I think I've tipped him for like the Wally Lewis medal.
Yeah.
He's never really come close, but it's good to see. And also, like Age said, I think the halves, Moses and Cleary, I think there was a lot of talk about Luai missing out, but if you look how Tiger's been performing lately, he's been okay, but he hasn't been playing his best football.
Well, I think he's only had like 2 tries this all year.
Yeah, it's not been great.
So, yeah, it's hard to argue against Moses and Cleary.
And you watch how Moses played as well on the Friday
exactly
night.
Right. And I think, to Age's point, he mentioned Moses will probably take that backward step, but he'll probably unlock his running game, which is absolutely lethal at times. So, no, it's a good team on paper. I don't think there was many surprises outside of Terrell May, but yeah, I think it's a great team.
A couple surprises in the Queensland team. Do you want to take us through what you like and your surprises, Jim?
Before Queensland, I just want to do one shout out. 18th man, our boy Stretch.
Yeah, Campbell Graham. Massive news. Congratulations.
Yeah.
He's on standby, or even in the game, there's an injury or three injuries or suspension on reports. So
no Birdo.
You never know.
Man.
No Birdo.
About time.
So he can play for Dogs.
Yeah, so he can play
They should just make the 18th man their team has a bye round. They can't be doing that.
Well, you should speak to Billy Mick because Kurt Mann's the 18th man. He can't play for the Dogs this week.
Yeah, that's a crime. Absolute crime.
But yeah, Jimmy, take us through what you like and your surprises for the Queensland team.
Yeah, so I think I've had a few days now to
process
and unpack this Queensland team. I think the more I look at it, like, I don't hate it. I think when you first glance at it, you're probably thinking like, what is going on? What's Billy thinking? But I think the more I look at it, I think it's a lot of the players probably picked themselves. I don't think there was a lot of surprises. I think injuries didn't help Queensland in that regard. Obviously with like Cobbo, Talangi, especially in the back line.
Crazy amount of injuries on that Sunday. They were just
Yeah.
floating through.
Yeah.
Even like Carrigan had a little scare there as well.
Yeah.
Like,
And then Gilbert did his pack as
Yeah,
well.
that was a bad one.
Which was stiff for
Do you
him.
think Gilbert would have been straight into that team in the back
I think
row?
he would have got picked.
Yep.
I think he would have got picked.
minimum on the bench, or even where Cotter is second row at the moment.
Yeah.
Probably where Gilbert would
I
have
think
been.
Cotter off the bench instead of Liero, would you say?
Well,
Or maybe Cotter.
I thought I was
Foddy bench.
I was surprised at Collins. I think Collins probably hasn't been in the great form.
Well, he's been injured. He came
He
back.
has been
He
injured.
had a decent game for the minutes he played. He scored a try.
Yeah.
And he's done it in the Origin Arena before.
But I think, like I said, with the amount of injuries that they had, I think he probably warrants getting picked. Looking at everyone's saying Rob Toyer, like what he's doing.
Wait, hold on. You didn't really say much you like there, Jim. Is there not much you like about that?
No, I said I
Queensland team?
like it. I like looking at it. The more I look at it, I like
Anything
it.
in particular besides?
Well, I think I said
obviously,
I think a lot of the
Munster and
players
Cherry?
like picked themselves, right?
Yeah.
I don't think there was much arguing about the players that they
Yeah.
picked.
Yeah,
It's
you're
just-
not arguing Tino, Carrigan,
like it's just
Grant.
that's the best forward that we've got at the moment.
Yeah.
That's fit. So I don't really have any
Yeah.
against it. But I think people are thinking like Rob Toyer, like what's going on? But then I think I don't know. I'm not Billy Slater, but I look at round 5 against South. He shut down Latrell. Like Trell got less than 100.
Trell was playing centre there.
Trell was
right?
playing centre
Yeah.
up against Rob Toyer. I don't know if that was the thinking behind it, but he shut down Trell. I think Trell got under 100 metres, didn't really have an impact on the game. So that could be one element of why Toyer got picked. You know,
That's a fair point. I didn't think about that. But like you do think
But-
about like he's played only 12 cup games and
Yeah,
was it
he
10 or
has.
11 NRL games. Like this is
Yeah.
a massive test. Throwing him into the Origin Arena.
but
Massive
I think
step
that
up.
I think you have to, right? I think there's no
Well,
greater arena.
The other
than,
options are you put home centre
and you play Arthur's.
and you play Arthur's wing
Yeah.
or Savage or Ronaldo. Is Ronaldo eligible?
Nah,
Or is he
I don't
not
think he's
anymore?
eligible.
I was
They
even
wiped
thinking
him
like
out.
someone like Dane Gagai, he can still do his
Like
job.
Gags,
He's done a job in the
Phil
past.
Sammy even there, he's been playing all right on the
Capewell's
wing.
been playing good
Cape
footy
Will
at
just
centre.
play good. Yeah. So there's options there. So it is.
Yeah.
The only thing I like about it is Toya's meant to be touted as a star of the future.
Yeah.
And if this pays off, Queensland got their Origin centre for the next
Yeah,
few
and if you're
years.
looking at all the players who debuted at a young age, like with small amount of NRL games, they all went on to play a lot of games and be successful.
Yeah.
So it is a risk, but you don't just get picked for Origin if you're
If
a
you're not
battler
good. He's
this
got-
early into your career.
He's got X factor. He's got a lethal right foot step. So he'll get some early ball, and he works hard in defence. He makes plenty of tackles. Doesn't rarely miss any tackles.
He's solid in defence.
a good
But, like,
one-on-one. Like
I just think Origin Trell's different. Like
I
we've
mean,
seen
everyone
what he
says that. You
does.
look at like Trell towered
He's a
up Queensland
fucking
that
beast.
right edge last year.
It's a massive assignment.
Like they had no answer for Trell last year.
Trell in the Origin arena is a different beast. I feel
So
like
I actually feel
he's
bad
always
for
stepped
Toya,
up.
but congratulations for
No,
getting
100%.
selected.
Yeah.
Huge achievement, but it's not going to be easy.
Either way, whatever happens with the teams, we have a preview coming out on Monday morning or afternoon, depending how
predictions, tips, stats, all of
It's
it's
our
happening.
annual preview that we do for each game,
Yes.
so it's
Yeah,
great. It's
so-
a bite-sized pod. You'll love
Yeah.
it.
100%. Get around that.
Well,
when
it's
it
back
gets
to
out.
regular season footy because it's almost like Origin takes over the whole season for 6
Yeah.
weeks
And I feel
straight.
like more people who are just not really into footy get more invested because
Yeah.
obviously you live in Queensland, New South Wales, support a team, you're just passionate about it. But yeah, let's get back into some NRL chat. So
Last week,
Sharkies.
when we were doing the previews, yes, we said to Jim, if Sharks beat Storm, are they Premiership contenders? And Jim said, if they win, I would happily say they are. So, Jim,
Well, I think the way they played, I think they are.
well done. Well done.
and they had a lot of injuries as well.
Mate, they
Mid-game.
lost Ramian and Stone Street.
Yeah.
Like that
And
whole
they had
right side.
Talakai centre and then
Atkinson.
Atkinson wins.
Oh.
yeah.
He scored a double. thanks
Coates
to
was
two-
just peppering that wing.
Yeah.
Well, they finally swapped it at the
They
end.
finally swapped Ronaldo to counter Coates.
Like, I don't know, after 3 tries later, but yeah, it's hard not to be impressed with how the Sharkies went about their business on was it Saturday night. Forwards laid the platform. I keep saying this. They had that one missing element, and it was Fanua Blake in that middle. That's all they've
They
missed.
needed one more powerful middle.
Powerful middle. Like the way he gains 10, 15 metres per run, quick plays the ball, sets up there.
And the post contact, he just keeps those legs pumping.
Yeah.
He goes another 5 to 10 metres
Yeah.
after contact and then quick play the ball. And then that's
'Cause
when Hines and Tricky can
I don't
work
know
off
if you
it.
boys noticed, but there's a period when he's not on the field.
They get dominated.
They get dominated in the middle.
Especially when McInnes comes off too, and
Yeah.
like Atkinson there and a bench prop.
Really, like they've got a big pack, but like they don't play big minutes. So
And,
like
and I feel like their backline's really strong as well, where you've got Idor and Rami on either side. And then Kennedy's playing career best footy at the minute.
Ronaldo's been unbelievable.
He's been great.
I
He's
like
been
what they're doing
hard
with Ronaldo. They put him in the centres for some backline shifts.
Yeah.
And he's just like toying with the opposition centre, like making big
Poor
meters.
Meaney. Oh, gee,
Poor
Yeah.
bloke.
he had a game.
He did. It was
He had
tough for him.
What I'll say about the Sharks is like it's almost impressive that like we've come on here a few times like Sharks underperforming, don't know how to ice a game, whatever. But they've sort of just not played bad enough and just kept going up. That this sitting fifth on the ladder, like Premiership favourite Storm, who they beat. Like we're raving on about them every week. They're one win behind them.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? Or 1 game
100%.
less. So
The only thing to note, it was at Shark Park. So if that was at Amy Park, we know it's a different story. So little things like that where there are a bit of doubts, but they played great on the weekend.
Yeah, and Nico, like we say it every year, I think if Nico's on, like, and if he's confident, Sharks are on. And I think we're seeing that.
Yeah, and I think he mentioned as well, no Origin pressure. He's not in contention for Origin.
Doesn't want to think
All
about it.
focus is on the Sharks.
Yeah.
And that's probably going to be good towards the back end of the year as well.
Yeah.
Gaining confidence.
Age, our team, the Rabbitohs, gutsier performance over the West Tigers, 2 in a row. We're actually
we
sitting,
lost 4 in a row before
we're
that.
sitting 7th on the ladder
Above the Cows.
above the Cowboys.
But Cow's eight?
You guys are 8.
Cowboys are 8th and Age. We've actually played an extra game.
Yeah, so we get our bye.
We got a
this
bye,
week.
and then you guys buy this
We
week.
got to buy this
And
week.
there's another bye coming up shortly
So
after
you got to
that,
catch
I
up
think.
one. But that's
But
still
we're ahead
promising.
of teams like Broncos, Roosters, Panthers. Like, I'm pretty impressed with where South is sitting.
Well, considering our injury toll, I feel like Bennett's played smart where we've played this. I wouldn't say boring. I don't know what another synonym for boring is, but
I'd say, like, conservative.
Safe,
Yeah.
just very like complete your sets, run it on last in the corner, defend them
they're,
up.
they're,
Very
not,
Wayne
they're not
Bennett.
kicking it on last
No.
most times now. They're just running into the corner.
No, and I feel like it's a strategy that's devised of like, hey, we're gonna have to try and limit your meters, like especially like Terrell May going upfield, and we'll go the other way. Someone like
'Cause,
Keon
like-
through the middle's helped us a fair bit.
Keon moving to
Keon's
the middle.
massive in the middle. Like,
Yeah.
his motor is insane
What
this
was his
year.
stats in that game?
It was like 28 runs,
280
50
meters
tackles or something. Like,
Yeah.
incredible. And like,
Insane.
to be honest, I think he's wasted on the edge. I know he prefers the edge. He's said it multiple times, but with that work rate and that, just it's like Terrell May, he can go the whole 80.
I don't know.
He was getting better as the game went on.
He actually was. I don't know if you can play him 80 every week. I feel like it's stiff on him and it's just not sustainable. But imagine if you use him in like a Fanua Blake type role where he plays that 60 minutes, give or take, and you rotate him in the forward.
First and last 30 maybe.
Yeah.
He'd be so impressive in the middle. I mean, if I'm Keon, I know he might not want to play there, but you can tell his press conference, he's got a preference. But you almost got to be like, I'm playing career best footy every time I step in the middle.
Yeah.
Maybe
if he's playing like that the whole year, he's playing Origin on the bench.
Yeah.
If not starting, like he's
sure.
insane in the middle. So I'm hoping for his sake and South's sake, he just stays in the middle.
Yeah, Jim, quick one on the Cowboys. Obviously, last week, moving Clifford to Q Cup.
Yeah.
And then playing Purdue 5-8 to make way for Labor in the centres. Do you reckon it's the right move to be making this deep into a season?
I think it's too early to tell. I think that it's going to take time. I don't think it's going to take one game to gel. But I think in saying that, I think we were pretty disappointing against Manly.
I still don't get why you dropped Clifford. Like,
No
does-
one,
it
no one
doesn't
will
make
know except for
sense.
Todd.
you
Todd
guys
knows.
were
Only Todd
4-1
knows.
with Clifford, I think.
Yeah, I
because
know.
he's really good at like just directing. He's being a halfback.
He's all hard as well.
Yeah, he is.
Like, he's good in defence, good kicking game. I think that's where we sort of lacked.
Whereas Purdue and Dearden are more run first.
Yeah.
But I feel like you do need that element of direction.
There's
So
no doubt that Purdue will grow into a great
Purdue's an
5'8".
out
He's a
half.
5'8".
So,
And eventually it's going to happen if that's his position. It's going to happen sooner rather than later. But it's almost just like you guys were doing so well, scoring so many points on that left edge.
why
and now,
change it if it's not broken?
And now you
Like,
only,
it
you
didn't
only
make
score
sense.
6. It's like,
Yeah.
it's
we'll
tough.
see how. I mean, we'll take the bye and then.
You'll probably give it another week if there's another L coming around
I don't
the
think
corner.
we'll see. I doubt we'll see Clifford back unless
Really?
Wow, huge.
there's some drastic.
Unless there's a few losses in a row.
Yeah, changes.
Yeah.
And our final Queensland team to shit on, one that has actually been playing really bad, Broncos losing 5 out of their last 6 games.
5 out of last. It's actually crazy.
It's kind of crazy when you look at it like
You
that.
sort of feel like they're going all right and like losing a few games, but they lost 5 of the last.
But if you
6.
like look at who they've lost to as well, like they're not that strong. Like Dragons last week, not strong. They lost to South after they came
up
with 4 losses.
14-0, so that was a shock one.
They got pumped by Panthers at Magic Round.
Yeah.
Then they beat the Dogs. I don't know how they
How?
beat Dogs out of
How?
all of them. But then they lost to Waz in Golden Point, and they lose to the Roosters. Like, those teams aren't.
There's a few games they should have beat the Chooks, they should have beat Souths, they should have beat Dragons.
Like, they pumped West Tigers the week before and they beat the Dolphins. Like, going off those two where they're sitting on the ladder, maybe it's not the best form line.
Yeah, I can't put my finger on the Broncos at the moment. I think they're absolutely cooked at the moment, though. It just looks like they're...
I don't know what it is, but if I had to put my finger on something, it is their second rowers.
Yep.
I don't think they're performing. It's their lock and their bench forwards.
I don't think they're making an impact.
Haas and Carrigan,
they're not making
there's
an impact.
not many other players going forward.
Yeah.
And then I think it's their 9. I think Hunt, when he comes back from injury, Ezra killed it, coming back playing 5'8".
Yeah.
He's a shoe-in for that spot. Hunt goes to 9.
think-
Walter's back to the bench.
I think they're a lot better with Ezra there because Ezra sort of plays both sides of the field.
That game he played, like, first game
Also
back.
Walsh
Yeah.
too. Like,
Incredible.
Cobbo
They
started
missed
really well
Walsh.
against Bulldogs, and then now it's like you're probably missing the ball play that Walsh had at times. I guess his errors sort of weighted out. But H, to your thing that you were saying, Corey Parker on Fox League was saying how Carrigan and Haas sometimes take too many hit-ups and stifle, and I was like, you must be kidding. Like, they're the only ones going forwards at times. Like, if any team had what Carrigan and Haas do in their front row,
They're winning 5 of their 6.
they would,
Not
exactly.
losing.
Like,
Yeah.
it's simple maths, and like, I don't think.
Well, they can't play 80 minutes every week, right?
No.
Someone else has to, come into the party and have an impact because, at the moment, they're just not getting that.
They're probably
impact.
missing an extra bench off that forward rotation. Like, Jensen comes on, takes Haas, and then Carrigan stays on, and I think Haas maybe comes back on for Carrigan and vice versa. But it's just not enough what you want to be
Just
doing.
having a look at their run meters. So, like, this is besides Haas got 174, Carrigan 186. They had Kobe Hetherington 82,
Yeah.
Ricky 64, Jensen 61, Baker 58, Piakura 40. Like
it's
no
not-
one else is taking that load off them when they're off the field. So
Yeah.
I think that's the reason. Like, besides that, their team's stacked. So
I think we'll see some changes. I think Ben Takura, I think he's probably due. I think he'll be back.
and maybe
soon.
Willison back in the middle.
Wilson maybe in the middle. And I'd love to see Blake Moser back in the side.
Yeah,
I think
But
Moser
then
offers
when
a bit.
Hunt comes back.
Yeah,
it's
but
sort
even
of
just
even
at a
harder.
14, like,
So would
just-
you drop Walters?
like Pakes, like I don't know what
Yeah.
the answer is. But
I don't know, but yeah, they've got a lot of issues, but they have potential as well.
yeah, well they've got the roster for it.
They've got the players. Yeah.
But yeah, they're not doing well now, but they're one of those teams that come September, if they just scrape into finals, they'd be a scary team to play.
And Origin doesn't kill them too much this year. I think they have Haas
and Carrigan. I mean,
That's it.
Well, based on what we've just said, you
But
lose those two.
some years it's like 5-6 players.
Yeah.
Where's the run meters coming from, Adrian? Where are they?
I think I don't know actually.
Yeah, well, away from that, we're on double live stream this Saturday.
Yeah.
I might not be there, but you two will be carrying the show. Plenty to give away. Plenty of horse racing, Jim.
Yeah,
Or was
as
it
long as
heavy
we got
tea
Jimmy,
cancelling it out?
With Jimmy, we
Winter
got the
Carnival,
tips.
Winter Carnival, the Dooman Cup this weekend. So,
Beautiful.
Any early favourites for the Doom and Cup in your eyes?
I haven't done the form yet.
That's okay. Good answer. You
It's
saved
not
yourself.
out yet, right?
Well, the field's out, but I haven't done the form
Yeah,
yet.
it's early days. You're looking at NRL first and
Yeah.
then racing later in the week.
He was too busy falling off his chair
Yeah.
with the Queensland team.
Honestly.
100%. But
Honestly.
yeah, we'll be on the live stream. So if you want to join, links in the bio or
Yeah.
use the code CastPatrol when signing up to Dabble.
And remember, what are you really gambling with? For free and confidential support, call 1-800-858 or visit gamblinghelponline.org.au.
All right, round 12 preview. Kicking it off. Is there a Thursday night game?
There is.
This
Doggies,
is Thursday
Dolphins.
night game. Bulldogs, $1.30. Dolphins, $3.50.
Dolphins have never beat Bulldogs. That's a
How
stat
many
to kick
games?
us off.
How many games?
Doesn't matter.
Okay.
Two games.
He's going to do it until like the team wins.
I don't know.
Like,
Like, it's just such a small sample
Yeah,
size.
it's a small sample size, but it's still 100%
stat.
success
It is a
rate.
stat. Yeah.
You can't argue with stats. It's
Yeah.
a fact, and I think they're going to make it 3 in a row against Dolphins.
to be fair,
Burden's playing.
I'm actually
Burden's in.
surprised at how heavily favourites they are against the Dolphins,
I
considering
am as well.
how many outs they have.
Yeah, but there's also no hammer, and then Platt hasn't returned. There's a few Dolphins aren't and their Dolphins have been shit. To be honest.
Wow.
I'm sorry. Finns have been down at the moment. They're not looking good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like alone, like Bulldogs outs, you put their origin stars. You got Man, Critter, King. Throw in Saluka Fafita injury, Kira's injury, and at least Josh Curran returns. But it's a lot of outs.
It is a lot of
Tell you what's
outs.
impressing with the Dogs, their next man up mentality and their depth. They're losing players, and then people like Leopold Hopoi
Yeah.
has came in and absolutely carved it up last week.
Yeah, he's good.
I don't know how many runs he did. It'll be close to 20 last week.
But is
What was his stats
is
last
this the
week?
week?
Let me find his stats last week.
Hapoi.
He impressed me.
Is this the week though when it's just adds up? There's just too many outs for him.
Hapoi off the bench. He played 45 minutes.
It should be good.
14 runs, 138 meters.
That impact.
47 post contact.
Yeah.
25 tackles. Like
Huge.
he wasn't even probably meant to play over 25 minutes and got shoved in with Fafita HIA. And the next man up is just performing.
I just think with the Dogs though, Critter is such a valuable part of that side. His leadership.
yeah,
And without him, I think that's a massive loss.
it's a big loss. And
Like
now
Dolphins, yeah, they don't have Hammer, but they've
and
got
Gilbert.
the problem
Yeah,
I
no
see on that note is Taft goes into centre and he's up against Herbie Farnworth.
Who's one of the form
One of
centers
the best
in the
centers
Yeah.
in the comp. So that's
Yeah.
going to be an issue, trying to shut that down. But Matt Burns there, Sexton's still there. Connor Tracy at fullback, Reed at hooker, spine doesn't change. And you say Curran is back as well. So, and then Sam Hughes is back as well.
Yeah.
So it's not the worst. They got good.
They
depth.
got good depth, the Dogs.
I
but
think they get it done.
yeah, I just think without Crichton, I think it would be a big ask. So I'm gonna go the Finns
On Finns.
for an upset.
Wow, huge.
I love it. I love Zake. I love what he's doing.
I'm going Finns for the upset.
Mix on Finns.
I'm going Finns. I saw
Yeah.
on the sheet Jim was going Dolphins, and I go
Give us a Finns up, boys. You might as well.
Finns up, baby.
Finns up, Finns up, Finns up. Sorry, Doggies fans, I love you,
Mate,
but not
Dogs
to
are going 10-1. Sorry,
Wow.
boys.
We'll see how we go. All right, next game.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
Yeah.
these bye rounds are notorious for upsets.
They are,
because
but
like
You
the,
just don't
the
know
better
what's gonna
teams just
happen.
don't win without their better players. It's simple economics.
everyone
It
has
is.
their good players out, so it's like, who stands up?
Exactly right. All right, next game. Parramatta Eels 265. Manly Seagulls $1.48.
Yeah, both teams haven't been the greatest last month. Besides last week, they're both coming off 18-plus wins. So, big wins for
Yep.
both sides.
Okay.
I'll give you the
It's a tough
freest tip
one.
of the round.
Free tip. Give us
Eels
a free
aren't winning.
tip.
They're two best players that do everything for them each week.
Mo Max.
Mo Max, Mo
that
Max.
That's the new thing. Mo
Max.
Max.
It makes me a
Mitchy
bit
Moses.
sick, Mo
Zach
Max,
Lomax.
That is sickening.
Mo Max.
But without Mo Max, Mo win for them.
Footy Dean
Mo
doesn't
win.
entice you.
I just
Good friend
see,
of the show.
I just
Great friend of
see
the show.
simple maths. We'll go back to simple maths again. When those two play together, they're 1 from 1. When Moses has been in, they have a chance of winning. When Moses was out, they looked nothing like the team that won
Yeah.
against the Knights. And Seagulls, they lose Cherry Evans, but Jake Arthur will do a job.
Jake
They get
Arthur.
Lockie Croker back as well.
Helps.
Yeah, they do.
So he's
Matty
on the
Lodge
bench
as
there.
well.
And big
Lodge's
win
back,
over the
yeah.
Cowboys. That
Yeah.
shouldn't be underestimated.
What's going on with Turbo? Does anyone know?
He's obviously
He
still
didn't have his
injured.
best game.
His knee
Is he
is
though?
not great
If he's injured, why is he playing?
because they need him.
Yeah, you actually need him.
Like, we've
but
seen
do
their
you need him
record
though?
without Turbo. I know he's not making much of an impact at the moment.
Yeah.
But it's games like this when he doesn't get picked for Blues, and he's like,
Is he
he had
gonna
a shocker
fire this
last
game?
week, dropped a few sitters over
He's
the
captain
line.
this week.
He's captain. Is this the game it just all changes? He scores a hattie.
Could be.
It could be, but on his form, it's tough to bet on
Would
that.
you have been surprised if you saw Turbo Origin?
Yes. I would
Yes,
have.
based on how he's looking on the field, like hobbling and not playing great and
Yeah.
out of form.
I didn't have him in the team before that game. And I watched the game and it wasn't his best game. So
Yeah.
it wasn't enough to
Like
get him
if
in the
he was
squad.
there, like after that game, it was a big X. Maybe game 2 or game 3,
Wow,
but
you're a ruthless selector.
I'm sorry.
To be fair, you're in your Blues zip up. So
I
like,
am. Laurie does call me for advice. I just didn't pick
He's the
up when
advisor.
I didn't pick up when he asked about Terrell.
I will say, like, although he hasn't been playing his best footy, somehow he has like magic dust that makes the rest of the team play better. Like you see someone like Saab, the stats when Turbo plays, how many tries he scores,
Yeah.
compared to when he does it. Even someone like Hopawade, like he still kills it at fullback, but just much more effort from the wing.
Yeah.
But that said, back to my simple maths, Eels aren't winning this one.
I did like Eels last week. I did like how
like
they
them?
played. There was a few good signs
I
there.
switched my tips after the pod.
You
because
did.
because of Best was out. It was a no-brainer tip.
Yeah, like Yongi's playing good. Dylan Brown's playing good. Jack Williams had a great game as
He
well.
did have a good game.
One of his best games I've seen him, especially
Yeah.
in the para
He had a good game.
jersey. Junior Barlow's been good. Just need to see more from like Hopgood and maybe Penasini.
Yeah, Hopgood's been a shell of himself.
Fox has been solid as well.
Yeah.
I'm still going to tip Eels.
I'm gonna go-
I'm going to tip Manly.
I'm
Sorry,
going Manly.
but
Yeah.
Eels aren't out of this. They're not out of this.
Eels, no chance.
No chance. Mo chance.
Mo Chance.
Mo
No
chance.
chance without Mo Max. There you
Pretty
go.
much.
You heard
All
it
right.
here first.
Next game, Panthers $1.38, Newcastle Knights $3.
But
Yeah.
this one I think could actually
They're
go
playing
either
in
way.
Carrington Park. Do you know where that is?
Bathurst.
Harrington Park, yeah.
It is. Well, I had no idea, so I thought I'd do a little bit of research. They've actually won 8 of their 12 games there, Panthers.
Okay.
So they
pumped South there by 50. Remember that one?
Knights,
Yeah, I do remember that one.
Knights haven't beat Panthers since 2018.
It's another one.
2018?
Yeah.
Come on.
There was a draw in there somewhere, but they haven't beat them since 2018.
Really?
Yeah.
That's a stat.
So that's a bit of a hoodoo. That's 7 years. That's fucked.
I looked at the Penrith side today and I was like, I don't think I could tip you.
Really?
But then
And then I look at the Knights. I'm like, what is going on there?
Knights have been playing so bad, and then they lose like their best player Ponga, and I'm like,
But has Ponga been having an impact?
Honestly,
it's one of those.
You just can't tip Knights.
Well,
They've
guess
scored
what?
22 tries.
Guess what?
All year. Don't do it, Jim.
don't do it.
I'm going the Knights.
No,
Oh, Jim.
I'm going
save
the
yourself the stress.
They have
I
scored.
think they win
They
this
average
week.
2.5 tries a game.
No, I think they win this week.
How many tries do they score?
I think they'll score 4 tries.
You know who I feel bad for? What's new in the castle? Shout out to him.
Oh mate,
He's
damn.
doing 1 kilometre for every point Knights,
I know.
Knights lose
He's
by
absolutely-
every week.
he's-
They lost by 22. Poor bloke had to do 22 Ks.
In the rain.
He was on the floor in the rain, just absolutely cast.
I'll say he's in
He's
the
doing good
fittest
things.
shape I've ever seen.
Is
him.
he
He's
So-
doing
cast
good
character
things.
of the week? Do we just give it to Dan from What's New in the
of
Castle?
the year, I reckon.
Yeah, he's
Dan,
doing some good
congratulations,
stuff.
cast character of the year, mate.
He's
Keep
doing
it
good
up.
stuff.
Keep up the good
Yeah,
Ks.
yeah. Just this is what I'm saying. When like upsets can happen, this could easily be a game where Knights can turn around.
Like,
their
nice just
season.
turn it on here.
I just,
Sharp back at fullback, I love.
but then they lose.
I like that.
But they lose Jacob Safidi as well, like who's been probably their best forward.
Is Leo also out as
No,
well?
Leo's
Leo's
back.
He's
He's okay.
He's in.
But Tyson Brazil prop.
I think
I'm just
Lucas
like-
back to back row is good.
Yeah, that's a positive.
Positive.
But then who goes centre? McCarthy, is
Kyle
it?
McCarthy.
Their outside backs are a bit skinny.
I'm tipping
Yeah.
Penrith on this one
Yeah.
Yeah, like they lose Cleary.
Just-
Is Fletcher Hunt playing?
on the wing. Yeah,
Yeah. Love his hair.
Fletcher Sharp fullback. I like it.
I like that.
How many outs do Panthers have? About 5 or 6?
got a fair bit.
Including like IPAP and Garner. Not named.
Cleary, To'o, Yo. That's it.
And then
Three.
IPAP and Garner
IPAP.
aren't playing.
Yeah. I don't know why those two are out.
That's 5. Yeah, they must be injured.
I think
But,
iPad was injured.
you
but
know,
well.
Schneider goes to halfback. He's a like for like in terms of playing style to Cleary. Laurie does a job at fullback, and Jenkins and McLean join the back line. It's not the worst.
Pratt Schneider and Cleary comparison. Who's your tip, mate?
Hey, in terms of play style, they're both directional. Obviously, Schneider's better, lol.
Yeah.
No, I'm going Panthers.
I'm going to go the Knights.
Yeah. Well,
For more disappointment.
all right.
So far, Jim, you're 1 out of 3. Let's
Yep.
continue.
Could be.
Good
Could be
pick.
3 out of 3.
Well, no, Gnocchi's getting close to you on the tipping board.
Is she?
She's slowly
I had a
sneaking
shocker
up
last
to you.
week, I think.
Yeah, you had a,
you had some bad weeks.
I had a few shockers.
I'm so far ahead now. I can just tip whoever I want.
Yeah, just tip South every week, Mick.
With
Keep it
respect,
up.
I actually tip South every week, and I'm still beating you by a margin.
Yeah, well, they're winning these games they shouldn't. So
Yeah, I
fair
know,
play.
so it
Fair
helps.
play to you.
All right, next game. Roosters 340, Sharks $1.32. Plenty of outs for the Chookies.
And not many for the Sharks.
Sharks, no.
Do they lose any?
Yeah, they lose one.
Stone Street's injured, so
Yeah, Stone
Oh,
Street's
it's
Harodi
injury,
comes on the
it's
wing.
Yeah, Harodi on the wing.
But their whole team looks really solid. Nico's still there, McInnes, Adam Fiddle-Blake.
yeah.
Not one player.
I'm not even going to look at this game, but
And 5 players for the Roosters, and big outs, to be fair.
yeah.
The part that probably concerns me the most for the Roosters is like, I feel like their bench was kind of weak. Like
Their
in
bench is
weeks,
skinny.
and now it's very skinny in terms of. I
I think it's the middles, isn't it?
he's on debut. This guy,
Yep.
Yolu.
Yep. He's on debut.
Lossalu, is he on debut?
No, he's the concreter.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, okay,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Blake
Part-time
Steep,
player.
he's good, and Nat Butcher motor, but like
Matt Butcher's back.
it's a very young bench, so need a lot of next man up. But considering that their pack's already so
Wait, what's
young.
their pack? It's
well, it's
They lose Naf
Makatoa,
White as well. and
Makatoa,
Collins,
Faketi,
yeah.
Egan, Siwa,
Radley.
Victor.
Back
That's-
row's solid.
and Docker Clay Hooker.
Yeah.
I think it's their middles where they're going to struggle. A lot of inexperience in the middles, and they're going up against
Oh mate.
AFB, Kafusi, McInnes,
Yeah.
Talakai, Hamlin Ueli.
I think
Makatoa, is
AFB
he still going around?
He's
I
a
didn't even know he was still
a
playing,
bet
but he's
for years.
starting now.
Who was he
so.
playing for a few years ago?
Makatoa Para.
That's right.
Yeah. AFB 2 or more.
AFB 2
Wow.
more.
I reckon.
Mate, that is huge.
I think he'll get 1 for sure.
Do you reckon Marky Mark gets bombed the whole game? Do you reckon, or was that a one-off?
What was
Well,
going
he's
on
playing
there?
centre now.
He's playing
He's
centre,
in the
okay.
centre. Dom Young's
Well,
back.
Dom
on the-
Young gets bombed then.
Probably.
Dom's
I'm loving Savala's kicking game though.
It helps him a lot.
Because he gets into finds open space.
Yeah, and the commentators were raving like he just dinks the ball and it goes 50 meters.
Yeah.
Like He just must have really strong legs because he's got a fucking boot on him.
Will Chad play first grade again this year?
Not unless there's some big
Not
injuries.
unless there's
Because Sam's back
Walker's
soon.
coming back.
Sam back.
So we do a
soon,
Savala 14 instead of Docker Clay?
Probably
No.
goes Sandon 14.
Send a 14.
Wait, sorry. Well, sorry.
Sandon and Walker will be
Sandon
the halves.
Walker halves. Or do you go Sand? Because I actually don't know. Yeah, Savala's not. Savala 14.
Because Fowler's been playing on the bench.
He can play middle, maybe.
Yeah, he was playing like
I don't know.
as a forward.
That's a future problem.
But yeah.
Sharks, though, anyway.
Back to it. I
Current
think
problem:
Sharks.
Sharks, Roosters. Who are we picking?
Sharks.
I mean, it's hard to not tip against Sharks again after their massive win against Melbourne, and they don't lose anyone to Origin. They lose Stone Street, who gets replaced with Hiroti, who was playing really good when he stepped up. Surprised to get Rami in still. I thought he was meant to be out, but great team all around.
Roosters have won 8 of their last 10 games against Sharks, which is the only thing going in their favour. I'm tipping Sharks.
Yeah, Sharks.
Ignoring
for
the
me.
stat here.
Sharks will win this.
Yep. Last game of the round: Warriors $1.75, Raiders $2.08.
This
In New
is
Zealand.
game of the round.
This is game of the
This
round.
is flip
stuff.
a coin territory.
Yeah.
A lot of stats positive for both sides. Warriors are shooting for 6 in a row this year.
They've
6 in a
been
row, the Wars.
unbelievable. I don't know why I keep tipping against
They've
them.
never lost in New Zealand. They're playing at home
Yeah.
this year.
Yeah.
And on the other side of the table, Raiders won 6 of the last 7. They only lost to Dogs, and it was a massive comeback. So
Mate, I love watching the Raiders play this year. Like, I think they are going unbelievable. Like, just their go forward and then just like their back line.
Yeah.
Like, they've got strike
they're
everywhere.
great to watch. Can you say something good about the Wars as well, Jim, so it doesn't look like you hate them?
Love the Wires. Love how they're going about their business as well.
Shout out to Luke Metcalf, who we had on the podcast. He's
Luke
top of the Dally M.
Yeah, Luke Metcalf.
Yeah, leading the Dally
And
M.
Max
what I'm
King made
saying.
Origin. So, like,
Yeah.
it's kind of like, are we timing this well?
Cast Patrol
Or
effect.
have we got the
Cast
effect?
effect.
And then we made Galvin drop the ball over the line against South. So the cast effect is working.
That's fucked.
Yeah.
Sorry.
It was the only time I didn't want him to
yeah.
score.
We
Sorry.
love you, but in that moment, you nearly broke our heart.
Well done, Stretch. Anyway, Wires, though, no Barnett, Fish Harris, makes it tough.
Warriors are $1.75 favourites.
Makes it tough.
At home,
Makes it really tough.
losing 2 middles. Like, Aaron Clark's going to have to pick up a lot of that load.
Yeah.
I don't
know
know
what's-
how much more Aaron can lift.
Like, Raiders just lose Huddy Young. Simi Sasangi slots in back row. He's been playing back row all year.
The biggest in for Raiders is Horsburgh not getting picked for Queensland
Huge.
team. Like, that's...
Was that a bigger
Massive.
snub than May, you reckon? Horsburgh? Well, what do you reckon is the biggest Origin snub?
I'd probably say it was
I personally
Terrell.
think Terrell's the biggest snubbing. Because he's been playing close to one of the best players in the comp.
Yeah.
Horse was more like...
I feel like Horse was more likely to be picked, though.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I think...
Like,
was a weird
especially
one.
with all
Yeah,
the
a weird
injuries
one.
to the forwards and stuff, I was like, he's there on the bench, surely. Just didn't even get in the extended squad.
You know what I reckon sort of rolled him a little bit was Fodawaker's form for the last 4
He's been
weeks
good footy.
has
Yeah.
been
And then
unbelievable.
he scored that meat pie as well, just to cement
Just to
it.
top it off. Nah, Foddy's been playing good footy. But
Back,
anyway,
back to this
Yeah,
game.
but Horse is going to have a big game. Is that what you're saying, Mick? He's going to be angry. Big Red's angry.
I think so. I think he's going to have to
Yeah.
carry some workload in the middle there, especially because their rotations will change with Huddy out. But yeah, I actually flip over coin territory because this is pretty much all of our bottom two at the start of the year when we did predictions. So
Mick, you know we've been copping a lot of shit on social media about you tipping Raiders to get the spoon.
that's classic stuff.
I think you got to give him an apology just to shut everyone up. Give him a quick
I've
apology.
apologized every week. I'm so sorry. But look at this pretender over here. He had Warriors for last.
I did have Wires for
Who'd
last.
you have for last?
And I probably have both in my bottom 4. So
Yeah,
credit to both of them.
How are they doing
Absolutely
this?
killing it. I'm tipping the Raiders. Not with any confidence. Wires can definitely win this.
I'm going to go the Raiders.
You actually hate the Wires.
You hate the Wires. We knew that. Mick,
I'm going to go Warriors at home because I think it just gives them such a lift to play in front of their home support. It's
always sold out,
They can
isn't
beat
it?
anyone. But it's a massive loss losing your 2 front rollers.
It is huge.
Especially when they do so much for their forward pack.
Yeah.
Luke Metcalf scares me. He does
Calves.
scare me. Metcalf. He's always carving up. What about that little grubber and chase he did on the weekend? Like, to back himself, incredible.
Craziest is Kurt Catewell keeping the centre spot.
Bro, Leotar's playing reserve grade.
Leotel was great when
Yeah.
at the
What's
start of the
Haywood
season.
Haywell played good last week, though.
What's going
You got to give
on?
him credit. Defended well.
Seriously.
Locked up. I think it was her. No, whoever was on that right.
Avarillo.
No, it was Herbie. Sorry, Herbie was left. Cable was right, and he scored a try. So he did a job.
It just makes you think, like, what happened last year with the Wires? because arguably they had
a
a better
mystery.
roster.
Yeah.
And they were coming off a mad season. So
I think what Metcalf is doing on the back of that forward pack is it's working wonders, and Egan's killing it at 9.
Yeah, he is.
So lots going right for the Warriors.
and that's the final game of the round. It's kind
it
of,
is.
Before we go to
it's
listener
kinda sad.
questions, I actually have
Kinda
my
sad.
own listener this week.
Wow.
What do you guys think of Sean Johnson on Fox Sports? Do you like it?
I
or
want
don't
more
like
of it. I love it.
Yeah.
I think it's a great addition.
So good. Like, he just brings so much energy and, like, just brings a laugh.
Yep.
Like, I'm
It's
there.
more natural. It's more like
I
chilled
love it.
vibe. He just says it how it is.
Yeah.
And I think
Yeah.
it works for his personality as well.
That's
I don't
him,
think
though.
He wouldn't work if commentating Warriors games because I hate when commentators are biased. Like he would
He'd
feel
be
good.
way too biased.
When it's Bulldogs and Panthers, he's super biased.
Like you saw him riding home Warriors in the studio.
Yes.
Yeah.
There's no way he could commentate.
I think post game, he's incredible to have. He was interviewing Barnett after the game, and he's going, "Yo, Skip!"
And
Yeah,
like
yeah.
when he had Metcalf on, he was screaming or something before, like their thing that they have with each other. Like,
Yeah.
it is refreshing to see. Even pre-game with Kronk,
It's
where they're
good to
breaking
see.
it down. So
I think they probably need more of that in the personality. Like you don't want it being super biased, but you also want to see the personalities of these football players coming out because sometimes they turn into robots.
yeah.
Yeah.
And he's so well respected for what he did on the field. So it's great to see him carving up off the field as well. So shout out to SJ. Play on there.
It is.
Listeners, get into it.
Listeners, first one at Little Fox 23. Who do you think will be the top 4 at the end of the season?
Storm,
Yep.
Raiders, Dogs,
Yep. Sharks.
Sharks. Yeah, I don't mind that.
That's my top
I'm going
4.
to give Dogs, they're definitely making it. Storm, they're making it. I think Sharks go in.
Oh, Mick's going to hate on the Raiders again.
Here we go.
Here's the ammo.
All
Write
the
this down.
waz. Up the waz.
Write this down.
Warriors go in.
Oh, okay.
Raiders, you won't finish top 4, but you're still top 8.
I
Guaranteed.
don't know if you see it, but it's that GIF, the GIF where Ricky Stewart's like writing on the notepad.
Yeah.
The Raiders fans are posting that right now if they could. They're taking note of this, Mick.
Yeah.
I have a bet with a bloke at work for Warriors not to make the top 8.
Really?
Oh,
Okay.
I did
you might-
after
you've lost.
Vegas as well.
Early payout.
early payout, yeah.
Sickening.
All right, next one at Miss_Ty. If you could make one change on each State of Origin teams, who would it be and why? Do you want to kick us off, Mick? For both
Kick us off.
New South Wales, Queensland?
If we were the coaches.
If you're
Queensland?
or if just who would you like?
Because if I was, I'd put some donkey on the Queensland team. Like,
Yeah, okay. All right, we're trying to better each team, yeah?
yeah, to improve
Or just
each team.
who
I would
you
personally
yeah.
go either Collins or Liero out for Corey Horsburgh. That'd probably be my one change. I think
good
Horsburgh
one.
probably did enough over Lindsay Collins, especially. I think I can understand Liero, but I also feel like you can't have that many front
Yeah.
rollers. You also need like a lock cover.
That's a good one.
New South Wales, there's not too much I would change. Like the fact that Max King got the spot, I'm happier with that than it was Jake Trbojevic. If I had to like gun to the head sort of shit,
Yeah.
maybe I'm putting Terrell May or Keod
Yeah.
in that bench spot
Yeah.
instead of Max King, but I'm really happy with Max King there.
Yeah, I think
Like in terms of what you see is what you get with him. He's super safe, do a job, and like all heart there.
I think New South Wales, I think I'd either have Terrell in there for Max King, but I just have Terrell in the side.
Yeah.
And I would have loved to seen Teddy at fullback over Edwards.
Yeah.
But anyway,
And
Queensland, I think I'd have, as Mick said, Horse probably over Lindsay.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd do either Horse for Liero, and then if not, I'd put Arthur's wing home centre. Toya, give him another year just to find his feet in first grade. Like 10 games, it's risky.
The problem with Toya is if he doesn't have a great game, these are the kind of things that could kill a career
And the thing
for a
is,
season. Like it just too early.
Clobbo's cleared of his wrist injury.
Yeah.
Talangi, what did he injure?
Calf or something.
He might be back for game 2 or 3.
Yeah,
Toya, just say New South Wales win. Toya doesn't have a great game. Trell scores a double.
first out.
He's out. And then next year might kill his confidence or for the rest
But I
of the
think
year.
So
I feel like
but I think
he
Toya's
might be a
only,
scapegoat.
But Toya's only there because of the injuries, though.
I know.
So it's like it's not like he's there long term.
Yeah.
Like as Talangi or Cobbo's fit, he's
Which
there
is
in
a
the
problem. It could be a
Like,
pro
that's
or a
just-
con.
just the way
if
it
they
is,
win,
like.
he might hold his spot. But if they lose,
Yeah.
he might be a scapegoat. Be like, oh, he was too young. Now we're going to get an inexperienced.
But then they'll be on Billy for picking him, a youngster. But
Yeah, man,
I think
anyway.
he'll go all right. But
But yeah, as you said, Terrell May probably just goes in there. I love Mac Ting though, so I don't want to drop him. Who else can go? Nah, no one else.
Well, Barnett and Haas are there. They can't really drop. Spencer Leniu, you have to.
He has to be there off the bench. That mongrel.
Honestly, the New South Wales team that was selected is close
It's
to
so
perfect.
good. There's so much depth and so much.
It's the first year
players
that I've
knocking
actually
the door.
looked at a coach's team and said, you know what? I can't fault you at all.
It's just Terrell May. That was the only thing that people wanted in.
But again, if Max King has a good game, doesn't matter.
King will do his job.
King will do his job.
He does all the 1%ers, so he'll be fine.
Yeah.
All right, next one at Brent.d. Can the Titans ever turn things around? Seems like at this point it's a bit of an old Yeller moment.
They're last.
Well, I think to start with,
Crazy.
they actually made BKL Sport unfollow Titans page on Instagram.
Why?
So if that doesn't scream your club's in turmoil, I don't know what is. He's one of the most passionate fans I have. And now that's happening. But on the field, it's not much better.
I actually can't believe how quickly the wheels are falling off. Normally it happens a little bit later, but I don't want to bag the Titans every week. But I really want them to go well. They have likeable players that are great.
Yeah.
But it's something breaking down in their defense. There's a period in the game where they probably have a 15-minute spell and they'll concede 4 tries.
Yeah.
And it happens week in, week out. I'm pretty sure if you look at their last 6, the lowest score that they've amount of tries is 4 or something.
Yeah. It is their defense.
You look on the weekend, they made the move. Campbell 6, 4 and 7. Brimo fullback.
They looked better.
Did they though?
I think they look better in attack. Brimo is a runner, so I like him at fullback.
Yeah.
And Foz, obviously a bit rusty first game back, but he did a nice try assist there. He's more directional.
Yeah.
So I don't mind it.
I think they've developed in the last few years. I don't know if it's because they're Gold Coast are a flashy style of footy, but they have this mentality of you'll score 30, we'll score 40. They can't hold up. It just doesn't work.
Yeah, it's not a good recipe. You got to be like the Dogs, where you got to let in 2 tries and score 4 or 3.
For reference, they scored 24 points, right? South win with 22 this week. Seagulls win with 24. Warriors win with 16. Bulldogs win with 24. Eels win with 28.
They're just leaking too many points.
If you can just fix that defense, the attack's there, but I don't know.
It's been that every year though. It's a defense. They just leak so many points. So
it's a tough one.
I don't know what
Titans.
Desi has to do, but there's obviously dramas that's going on behind the scenes that we don't know about.
It's weird because they have a great roster. It's like previous years. It's they haven't had the best of roster.
They got one of the best powerful back rowers in Cup.
Fafita.
There's just a bit
when he's
going
back
on
from
there.
injury, he needs to get back in there.
They had 3 people selected for Origin. Some teams like Sharks don't get even a single player.
Yeah, they had more than Broncos, and Broncos are meant to be the better club.
Yeah.
But
All pack and they still got a back. It's crazy. I really want them to do well, but the fact that they're last is how quickly how bad. Think about how bad Para and Knights. You're talking about how Knights can't score to save their lives, and Titans are still worse.
last. Yeah. The Titans can score points. It's just their defense. Get that right, and you can win some
Starts
games.
there.
Broken record. Honestly, we could just clip our Titans.
For the last 3 years, we've been saying the same thing.
Defense.
Defense, and their second halves. But that's a different story.
All right, next one at Michael.DiStefano96.
So your burner, Mick?
It's my burner.
Okay.
Do you see any more play movement soon across the competition? What are your predictions?
Well, you could probably bank on Cherry
Galvin-
Evans.
Yeah.
Cherry Evans, he'll be somewhere next year.
He's going to Chooks or Dolphins. Probably Chooks. I reckon he's going to Chooks.
Galvin.
Galvin,
apparently
have they had that meeting yet?
He's trying to get an
with
early
Tigers?
release. I mean, it's always going to happen. He's getting an early release.
He might get it and go to Eels.
So apparently
That could happen.
Tigers are signing Kaipi's ball.
Yeah,
so
Tigers
Is that
Peace
actually
Ball.
happening?
So it's actually almost a 3-way swap.
Oh, wow. It's actually going to happen.
So Brown to Knights, Pierce
Pierce
to
to
there,
Tigers.
Galvin to Eels.
That'll be
Because
interesting.
I think they were trying to do that this year, right?
It was rumoured, So I wonder if it happens this year or next year.
Yeah.
Kaipi's
Any
ball's
other
good.
ones? Any other predictions? I think Cows should sign a hooker for next
I think
year.
Souths are going to sign another prop soon.
Yeah.
Don't know who, but
I'd love for Cows to sign Little.
As
Yeah.
a backup hooker.
yeah, he'd be a good.
for Robbo next
Oh,
year.
sorry. Yeah, true.
Yeah, he'd be a good one.
That'd be such a good signing.
He's
Very
just a
good
bit
signing.
wasted on the bench there.
Yeah.
And he's been playing really good.
Off the bench, he's been unbelievable.
Yeah, when he comes on, he's
Got
fast
an
and
impact.
impactful.
How about
yeah.
that goosey that he did?
Yeah, Mam should have got him, bro.
Oh, bro.
He went way too early.
I know,
He
he's
had
just-
him tracked.
I feel like in this day and age, you don't need to have 2 quality hookers. You can get away with one playing 60 and the other just playing 20, taking the sting out of the game a little bit.
Yeah, even Jai Gray came on and played hooker for us.
was great.
Did the job.
Look at Raiders with Tom Starling and Paddy. Paddy
Yeah.
comes on, Not the most
10, 15
effective,
minutes.
But he
but
doesn't even Starling doesn't even go off.
Yeah.
Paddy just comes on and
Just
plays.
stays in the middle now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
it's a good little break.
All right, last one for this week at Kicking Keeks. If you had DCE, what would you do with him as a halfback or 5'8"?
What?
If we had DCE, he's a halfback.
Is that
Yeah.
the question?
That's the question.
You're definitely playing halfback.
But
Maybe
what would you do with him?
I'd
Well,
say.
you'd play him halfback and you let him control the team.
What am I doing with him? I mean,
What are you
I'd
doing
say
with
to him,
DCE?
you've been playing for 15 years. Like,
You
you
played
know
over
what to
300
do.
games,
Yeah.
over 25 reps.
I'd be saying, Cherry, you tell me what to do.
Yeah. I'll tweak the question a bit. If he was to go to Dolphins, what do you do with him?
He plays.
He still plays
halfback.
half, and you
Katoa
would put
plays
Katoa
six.
6.
Yeah.
I don't think he goes to any club and doesn't play halfback. Maybe
Probably not.
Maybe Panthers. Maybe.
Nah, Cleary would probably go 6 still.
You still reckon?
I think Cherry's only a 7.
He's not a 6.
I don't think he's a 6. So if that's the question, then that's the answer. He's a 7. He won't be doing anything else, and he's not going to change.
Bro, that's
now.
a crazy question from that bloke.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Kicking
I don't
Keeks has rattled us.
He has rattled us. I don't know
Maybe-
if I misinterpreted the question, but that's what he wrote. So
Yeah, Rich.
There you go. Yep. If we had him, we'd play him halfback.
Well, that's
And
the
we're going to
answer.
end on that note.
Yeah, that's great. Well, live stream this Saturday and State of Origin pod on the Monday. So plenty to look forward to this week.
Yeah.
And obviously the big game on Wednesday.
Yeah, this is where it all heats up here. A lot of racing, footy, Origin. Great time to be alive.
And
boys.
one extra shout out that I did forget. South, they're endorsing a petition by Luke Carroll to move us back to Allianz Stadium.
oh yeah.
Yeah.
So we'll put in the link in the description. Just sign it.
Here we go.
If you're a Rabbitoh supporter, get it going.
Now, Hainsey won't
Do you
be
want to go
happy
back to
with that.
Allianz Age?
I want to be back to Allianz. I don't want
close
to
to
trek it
home.
to Homebush. 50 minutes to Homebush when you can just go 10 minutes around the corner to Allianz. Sorry, Hainsey, but we're coming for the home of the Roosters.
That's all from me.
That's all from me.
all
See you
from me.
guys.